Hi, and welcome to this week's Tech Tuesday, where we'll be unveiling a new family of professional Bravia displays. Most of you don't know me, so I'd like to take a quick moment to introduce myself as well as today's presenters. My name is Nate Corville, and I'm on the marketing team here at Sony. In addition to our channel marketing, I oversee our Tech Tuesday web series. Today, we're excited to show off our latest display series, the EZ20L. With that, I would like to introduce you to today's presenters, Joe Drury, our commercialization manager of the professional Bravia display category, and Kiana Pompa, our senior manager of Pro Bravia displays. We'll start off with a quick introduction video, and then we'll hand it back over to Joe, where we'll get things started, and we'll see you back later again for Q&A at the end. Enjoy the webinar.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joe Drury, the commercialization manager for Pro Bravia, and today I'm going to go over the EZ20 with you. So let's kick it off first here with the agenda. So first, I'm going to introduce the EZ20. I'm really going to talk about how this completes the Pro Bravia ecosystem. And then I'm going to walk you through choosing the right display. At that point, I'm going to hand it off to Kiana, who is our production manager for Pro Bravia. And she's going to walk you through Bravia signage free. the advantages of Pro settings, solutions for Bravia Pro, and then the Bravia Knowledge Portal. At that point, we'll hand it off to Nate, and we'll do some Q&A. Let's see here. So last July, we announced the new evolution of Pro Bravia, and at that point, we had launched the BZ30L, the BZ35L, the BZ40L, and the BZ50L. Just in December, we launched the EZ20L for the first time. This is our new series, which is addressing the more entry-level product for 16x7 operation, with all the essential functions with RS-232 and simple IP functionality. The purpose of this Tech Tuesday in particular is going to be talking about how the EZ20 feeds into the overall portfolio and why we're so excited about it. First, though, I'm going to talk about our service offerings, and this is really an all-encompassing offering that applies to the entire portfolio. So first of all, we're going to start with the warranty coverage. All Sony Pro Bravias, they come with 3-year warranties as standard. However, the BZ50 and the BZ40L series, those come with a 5-year standard warranty. The 2-year extended warranties are available for all non-BZ40L models. So this is the BZ30 and the BZ35 series. All Pro Bravias are covered with an advanced replacement warranty. This means that during the coverage, the duration of the warranty that your Pro Bravia has, we will provide a replacement display if your Pro Bravia becomes defective, rather than just repairing it right there at the location of the display. We're very, very proud of our advanced replacement program. In addition to this, we also offer white glove service. White glove service is the human capital part of the advanced replacement program. So should a Pro Bravia become defective and we provide a replacement display for the defective display, the white glove service provides a technician that will come and remove the defective display and replace it and mount it on the wall with the replacement display itself. At that point, the technician would also help if we need to have the defective display sent back to Sony, or they would help with the disposal. So this is a real good little snapshot of really how our warranties and service programs are applied to the different series. As you can see, the 50L and the 40L, both of those come with this 5-year standard advanced replacement warranty, and white glove service is available for both of those. The 35 and the 30 series, both of these come with a 3-year standard advanced replacement warranty. 2-year extended warranty offerings are available. Those are purchasable SKUs, and white glove service, of course, is available with these series as well. We've just transitioned away from the BZ30J series. However, if you do have those displays and they're covered, those also come with a 3-year advanced replacement warranty with the extended warranty options and white glove service available. The EZ20, the series that we'll be talking about today, this comes with the 3-year standard advanced replacement warranty with white glove service offerings available. There are no extended warranties available for the EZ20. So this is a nice little snapshot of really what the EZ20 is and what it provides. It comes with the Android operating system, AirPlay, Chromecast. These are standards of what a Pro Bravia is. And it supports Google Meet as well as HTML5 functionality. The EZ20 series comes with a powerful 4K HDR X1 processor that is our system on a chip and handles all the functionality that we're looking for this series. In addition to this, we also have the deep black non-glare coating, which is available on the BZ40L series. These are really the main functions that we have across the Pro Bravia portfolio. And the last big call out here on the second to last line is TAA compliance. This is available for all professional Bravia displays. All of them are made in Mexico, except for the 32BZ30J. So here's a snapshot of the entire Pro Bravia portfolio. At the very top, you have our flagship series, which is the BZ40L. This is our high brightness, non-glare series. The BZ40L models are 700 nits of brightness. The BZ50L, which is our 98-inch display, that comes at 780 nits of brightness. These are typical nit brightnesses. The 40L comes with the deep black non-glare. However, the 50L does not. And on the right-hand side, you'll see in the very colorful ovals are additional offerings that come in the packaging. So, for example, the 40L and the 50L, they come with a VESA centering mount, as well as the logo being located on the side. Internal storage for the 40L, the 50L is 32 gigabytes of internal storage, and these are very high brightness displays. The enhanced series is the BZ35L series. This also comes in the 55, 65, 75, 85 inch size. And again, increase internal storage to 32 gigabytes with the VESA centering mount and the side logo. Then we have the BZ30L series. This is our complete lineup. And really what we mean by that is the sizes offered are 32 inches all the way up through 98 inches, making it a great series for any type of project that you have out there where you need 300 nits of brightness. And then today we're talking about the EZ20L series in particular. The BZ30L is at 440 nits brightness. The EZ20L comes at 350 nits brightness, and the sizes here range from 43 through 85 inch. We're very excited about the usability and the installation flexibility, as well as the picture quality and the sustainability message that we have behind that. So let's talk a little bit more about the EZ20 as a snapshot. Here's the snapshot for all the sizes in particular, and it's really kind of this slide really talks a lot about the different sizes that we have, and really what their difference are as you go up through the line logic. Really the call outs are going to be around brightness, internal storage, and warranty. And then, at the bottom, we have the EZ20L, again, at 350 nits brightness, 43 through 85 inches, with the 3-year advanced replacement warranty. So with all of these different series that we have, 4 series, the 20, 30, 35, and 40, we created kind of like a flow chart as to really how do you drive which display is best for your application. So starting from the left is, do you need haze, or as we call it, anti-glare? The BZ40Ls come with 48% anti-glare, as well as a non-reflection panel treatment surface. If that's required, then the 40L is going to be the most appropriate series for you. If the anti-glare or the haze is not necessary, but you still need a high brightness offering, then either the 50L or the 35L are going to be appropriate for you, depending on whether you need a 98-inch or not. So the 98-inch comes with the 50L. The BZ35L does not have a 98-inch offering. Then we get into if you need 24/7 operation. If you do, then the BZ30L would be appropriate. Or if you need advanced integration, and this really deals with our system on a chip, what capabilities and applications do you plan on running on the display? Do you need the logo to be discrete? And do you need a robust eco offering for the display? If you need all of those items, then the BZ30L would be best. However, If, for example, you only need a display at 16 by 7, or you have more simple applications necessary, then the EZ20 would be quite appropriate, and you would have those cost savings by moving to our most cost sensitive series. I'm going to hand it off to Kiana now, who's going to walk us through some of the more technical elements to the EZ20. And I look forward to seeing you again at the Q&A. Thanks. Thanks, Kiana.
Thanks, Joe. Okay, let's go ahead and get started and jumping into our key differences between the BZ and the EZ series. So we made a handy dandy chart that has all of the lineups stacked up against each other. In addition to having the EZ20L series, I think the beauty of our entire lineup is that we are an Android operating system. So the Android platform has a very unique capability that allows you to have a B2B experience, but also a B2C experience. So if you want to have access to the applications that consumers use, like Netflix and Hulu or what have you, you do have access to the full Android Play Store to download those applications, but we also support all of the professional applications and allow you to disable those feature sets. So for example, if you want to make your display optimized for digital signage, we can do that and disable all of the consumer functions. So the beauty of this is that you have a choice between two functionalities. And the entry-level series, I want to make sure that you are aware that Chromecast and Apple AirPlay are built in. They're actually built into our entire series and setup. On the entry level, the Sony logo is in the middle and the Visa mount spacers are not included. So I think that's the biggest difference, but it is uniquely positioned to be an entry level display at 16:7 operation. So if you are looking for something that's cost effective but still has the Sony warranty and color accuracy that you know and love from Sony, the EZ20L series is a really great competitor. So let's go ahead and move forward to a little bit more specification. Okay. So this spec chart, other than being an eye chart, I'll just highlight the important stuff here. On the EZ20L series, we do support IP control, specifically simple IP. And also RS-232. That's the biggest difference on the control side. All of the other models support full REST APIs, IRCC, simple IP control, and RS-232. And then the cable for RS-232 also comes included in the box. So again, another difference would be the brightness. You're looking around 350 nits. And then our engine, our processor is still our 4K X1 processor. So you're looking at true quality, but the biggest difference we'll get into in the next slide. So our X1 processor. So the X1 is available on all of our units, but we do have upgrades available on the BZ series. So they're using the 4K HDR processor X1. So with X1, what's included here is that it has object-based HDR remaster, super bit mapping in 4K, and then dynamic contrast enhancer. Versus the X1 processor, it does not have that object-based HDR remastering. So to give you kind of a visual of what that looks like, I do have that on the next slide. So here's a comparison on object-based HDR remastering. It basically will give you a more vivid image so that you can watch everything in detail. Especially if you're looking at something with like mountains or like hidden textures, the HDR will bring in that effect. Whereas if you look at the object-based HDR remaster, it also creates a more real color and increases the contrast. On the super bit mapping, it gives you a smoother picture and less banding. And then on the super bit mapping, it also creates more level of color within the scene. Now, as we move on to the Pro settings differences, before I go into full detail of what Pro settings is, let's do a little lesson, we do have a Bravia Knowledge Center that goes into full detail what each Pro setting is. But Pro settings is basically a hidden menu within our operating system that allows you to configure your display for a specific use case. So, say for example, if you want to lock down your display and make it completely tamper-proof for digital signage use and work 24/7, or if you want it to be in a meeting room use and you want it to start on HDMI input 1 every single time, and we're going to disable all of the other HDMI inputs, we can definitely do that. So what the key difference here is when we launched the EZ series, we wanted it to be entry level and really easy to use. So now the Pro settings menu is actually within all of the settings. So it's not a hidden menu. You don't need to have a key sequence. It's accessible to you. And we slimmed it down to make it easier for end users to configure for those entry level applications. So this slide shows you all of the Pro settings we have available from our original BZ series. The ones that are grayed out are basically the ones that we do not have access on the EZ20L series. So to make it a little bit easier, and so it won't be an eye chart on the next slide, I kind of pinned down all of the essential functions. The great thing about this is that these settings are basically most of the settings that end users use. So initializing the settings, installing an APK, that's really important. We have the ability to install an APK via USB stick. PC input optimization, so based on the resolution that you're inputting into our display, we can optimize that. Wake on signal, where it automatically detects your HDMI input, powers on, powers off, and input switches for you. We have a Pro Mode lock where we can lock down the display using a PIN code. And what that does is makes it completely tamper-proof and end users will not have access to the settings. We can set an initial input source. So say, for example, you want to set it to a specific HDMI input or maybe a specific application. We can do that. Power scheduling, periodic restart. Since we are an operating system, it's always recommended to do a periodic restart at least weekly. Um, Clear your cache. Display and remote controls, we can disable that. Again, helps you make that display tamper proof. External inputs, we can disable and enable simple IP control and RS-232 serial control. Bravia signage free, which we'll get into in a little bit, and then Apple AirPlay and Chromecast built in. All right. So as we move forward, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on our simple IP control and RS-232 control functions. Again, the Bravia Knowledge Center will show you how to get started with this, but ultimately we are supporting all of our beloved third-party control partners. So if you're looking to use like Crestron, QSys, Extron, what have you, we do support it thanks to the simple IP control functionality. You can use the existing BZ series drivers because of the fact that we have the same commands across all the lines. We kept it very simple for any of you that are looking at the EZ series and thinking, how do I install this? All of the commands are the same. All right. As we move forward, let's talk about the solution differences. Because the operating system, although it is Android-based, the operating system is not the same as the BZ series. BZ series has a more powerful processor that allows us to use a lot of onboard applications. When I talk about onboard applications, I'm thinking about like content management solutions or even remote management solutions. So say, for example, if you want to configure your display for Navori, AppSpace, Corbett, NovaSign. We have a list of 100 plus partners available to you that you can run onboard digital signage on our displays. It is limited to the BZ series. I would not recommend running these partners on the EZ20L series just for the sake of processing power that the EZ20L series has as an entry level display offering. What we do to offset that is that we include the ability to use Bravia Signage Free. It's a free application already installed on board your display. It lives on your home menu, so when you open it, you can either use the internal storage to upload content of your own, whether that be images or video, or you can also use it on a USB stick. Any content that has that is in your USB stick will play in ABC order automatically. So we'll talk about it more, and I'll even show you a live demo at the end. And then as we move forward, let me show you the partner network. So, like I said, this is an ever expanding list. It's extensive, and what started off as something where we are partnering with control partners, mount manufacturers, has turned into this beautiful ecosystem of software providers as well. So, if you're looking at IPTV, collaboration, workspace management, content creation, digital signage, all of this stuff is available to you, and we'll put the Alliance partner page on the chat so you have access to it. But all of these partners basically are optimized with our Sony display and can run on board. And now we will move forward to our Bravia signage free. So here's a visual of where it lives on board your display. The beauty of this is that it's not just a simple, run on a USB stick and it just plays like a slideshow. We have the ability to go in and rotate the UI, which has been really asked for and requested. You have content preview. You can import and export the settings and contents to other displays. Again, you can use it either on a USB device or internal storage. You can add background music. You can create schedules. So let's go ahead and showcase the live demo so you can see it firsthand.
Hello, my name is Kiana Pompa, Product Manager for the Sony Professional Displays. Today, we will be walking through the FW EZ20L Series, available in sizes 43 inches all the way up to 85 inches, packed with feature sets that we know and love from our Pro Bravia Display lineup, starting with the Android operating system. With the help of the Google Play Store, you now have access to all of the apps that we know and love, as well as Chromecast and Apple AirPlay built in. I will show you how easy it is to cast to your display. For full details on how to use Chromecast or Apple AirPlay built-in, we'll post the details down below. For now, I'll showcase Apple AirPlay. You have the ability to set a password, first time only PIN, and PIN every single time. For this use case, I've already connected, so let's go ahead and just start casting. And it supports both portrait and landscape orientation. And it's that easy. This display is also great for meeting room use. With the help of Pro Settings, within that Pro Settings menu, we have access to feature sets like Wake On Signal that powers on and off and automatically input switches based on the HDMI detection. For signage use, we also have the ability to set an initial input source so that every time the display boots up, it goes to a specific HDMI input or an Android application. We also have power scheduling, and you can make the display tamper-proof by disabling the IR remote and the button on the bottom bezel. You can even lock down the settings with the help of Lock Settings pin. Last but not least, we also have access to the Bravia Signage Free application that's built into your display that allows entry-level digital signage users to play back their content over a USB stick with special feature sets like creating a playlist, a schedule, add background music, and transitions. Let's go over the configuration process. With your IR remote, open Bravia Signage Free. Make sure you allow permissions to the on-screen pop-ups. The visuals will give you directions to insert the USB stick to get started. Please make sure your USB stick is formatted using FAT32. If there is any data on the USB flash drive, the data may be overwritten following the setup process. Once inserted, a folder structure will be created on your USB stick containing multiple folders, but most importantly are the ones labeled Sony, where the app is installed, and Media folder, where you will place all your playback content. I want to take a moment to walk through the advanced settings. We support playback on the USB stick or downloading the content to the internal storage. We can specify the playback mode between slideshow, where it automatically starts to play in order of file name, playback of only a specific playlist that you customize, or you can create playback schedules connected to a playlist that you create. We also support presentation mode if you want to manually change the content using your IR remote, perfect for a quick way to share your PowerPoint presentation. Landscape and portrait orientation are also supported with a transition effect. You will use the red button on the IR remote to create custom playlists. Name the playlist and then select the content of your choice. Press OK to save. The green button will allow you to create a schedule based on every day, a specific date, and a day of the week. The yellow button allows you to import content to its external memory. Once imported, you can simply start playback using the internal storage feature. I will now also show you the behavior when selected USB stick playback. Now that we configured our USB stick, let's go ahead and insert it into the display. Once inserted, the display will automatically detect your USB stick and play back your content in real time based on the playlist and schedule. If you did not create a custom playlist and schedule, it will also play back in ABC order. And that's how easy it is to get started with Bravia Signage Free. I'll send it back to you.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. We're here with the Q&A. Got a couple questions for you that we're going to ask, and Joe and Kiana will give us some great answers. So to start it off, we got a question from Paul. Can the control system between the USB signage drive and the HDMI inputs via IP protocol? And Joe or Kiana, you want to take that one?
I think what they're asking is if they can control Bravia signage free using IP control. I'm
Yeah.
guessing. So Bravia Signage Free is just again just a free entry level platform. So you do still have to be in front of your display in order for you to use that. But we do have upgraded abilities that you can use a cloud management tool like AppSpace, Navori, Corbett, what have you, that you could do this remotely from a web browser.
Great. Thank you. And then we'll jump over to the next question here. Rebecca asked, "Can I manage this display remotely?"
Yeah, it's a really good question. The BZ series has a bunch of different applications that you could do this remotely. So internally, we have an application called Web Control UI that's available in the startup services. It's completely free. You just have to enable it, and then it does require a network connection. It could be a closed network, so it doesn't need to have access to the internet, but it does have to be networked because it's IP based. You access the device via IP, and then you can control it using its dashboard. This dashboard allows you to control normal settings, pro settings, update your firmware, and check on status. It also allows you to export and import those settings onto other displays, um, but it is a one-to-one relationship. An upgraded version of this is a Sony offering called the Device Management Platform, again, only available on the BZ series. The Device Management Platform is a cloud solution. Again, this does require internet access. It is a subscription-based a licensing option, but it is really amazing because it's a single all-in-one dashboard that allows you to remotely install a lot of our applications. So instead of being tied to the Google Play Store where you need credentials and you have to manage all of that, you can manage all of this through the device management platform and install and pre-configure your displays. We also have the ability to have a zero-touch provisioning tool that allows you to scan in your display and pre-configure remotely. As long as you scan in that display and configure it beforehand, when your display hits the network, it will be pre-configured. And then, of course, we have third party. So, say, for example, Crestron XIO. We have the ability to manage and control those displays using our third party partners as well. So, lots of offerings. And as far as the EZ20L series goes, this would be more of a localized control since it does not support DMP Web Control UI or Crestron XIO. This would be something that you would control over RS-232 or simple IP control. Hope that clarifies the
Okay.
difference.
Great answer there, Kiana. Thank you. So next we have a question from Michael. Can we explain the difference between X1 and XR?
So I believe X1 and XR are going to be the processing, the picture processing that we were discussing earlier. All of our models actually have an X1 processor, except for the EZ20L series. That one is like an entry level X1, but essentially all of them are X1. So if we recall earlier in the slides, it has like super bit mapping, HDR. When you upgrade to the XR processor, I believe that's the cognitive processor. Correct me if I'm wrong,
That's right.
Joe.
Yep.
Okay. So cognitive processor basically gives you the ability to see the image the way that your eyes see the world in real life. Really, an upgraded version to the X1 processor, and those are usually available more on the consumer models. So if you're looking at any of our like master series, those displays have it. None of our lineup currently right now has an XR processor.
The 98 inch.
Oh, does it?
Yep, the 98 BZ50 and the 98 BZ30. Both of those come with the XR processors.
My apology.
Thank you for that one. Um, so next we have Tony here. He wants to know if this training will be available online for our dealers to review.
Yes, definitely. We always post these in our YouTube channel. We have a Tech Tuesday channel that we can probably put a link to in the chat so that once we post it, you'll see it there. And we have a huge library of ever since we started Tech Tuesday. So if you want to look back at any of the old ones, they're there.
We'll get a link out to you guys so you guys can go check that out. Thank you. All right, next we have Ryan. He noticed that the display has Apple AirPlay and mirror casting. You demoed the Apple AirPlay for us. He just wanted to confirm if it has the mirror casting as well.
So it's not Miracast, it's Chromecast. So Chromecast and Apple AirPlay built in. And with Chromecast, I know usually people are really concerned when they say Chromecast and Miracast because they think, well, if it's Miracast, will I be able to actually cast my Windows operating system or my laptop? So the beauty of Chromecast is that you just need a Chrome browser downloaded onto your PC. Um, it has an option to either from the Chrome browser cast just your browser or your entire display. So you can do both on Chromecast.
All right. Thank you for that clarification there. And then, so we'll jump to the next one from Philip. Does the Pro models have app space built in?
Good question. It's not built in per se. What we could do is download it using the Google Play Store, install it via USB stick, and we can also install it remotely with the help of our device management platform. So it is not a pre-installed app. You do have to install it and also purchase it via from AppSpace because it is a third party.
Thank you there. And then we have Brian. He's looking for some clarification on what we exactly mean by the logo on the side versus the logo on the front.
Yeah, so what that really means is that the displays that are purchased now and mounted on the wall by the end users, this is really going to be the logo's discrete now. So as opposed to before, where you typically see logo on, if you want to think about a TV, where the branding is right there on the front, centered on the bottom of the TV. Now it's located actually on the side, and it's very very difficult to see. So the premise is that it's all about the display and what the end user wants to show on the display, rather than just the Sony logo.
Right. Thank you, Joe. All right. And next we have a question from Alan. Do all the Bravia models support Bravia signage free?
Yes, all of the models support Bravia signage free, and it's on board on your home menu on the dashboard already pre-installed.
Perfect. And then following that question, another quick one. Does the EZ20L series support RS232?
That's another yes.
Yeah.
All of our models support RS-232.
So knocking out some quick ones. Following there, we have Ryan. He wants to know where he can find the control specifications for the EZ20L series.
Great question. That is in our Bravia Knowledge Center. We did post that in the chat. So if you have any questions, you also have access to any of us and also your local sales support engineers in the territory. Feel free to reach out.
Yeah, and to add to that, that's an absolutely great resource for any of the series that we've ever had before as well. So anything from some of these more technical specifications regarding RS-232 simple IP control functionality to even just what's the weight, what's the dimensions, those types of things. So it's a very good resource.
Absolutely. Right. And from there, we got a question from Peter. What is the VESA adjuster on the other series?
Yeah, so this is the Pro Bravias are the VESA holes that are on them are centered horizontally, but not vertically. Provided in the packaging with every Pro Bravia for the BZ series is a bracket that will actually mount to where the VESA holes are in the display as of right now, and essentially adjust them so when you mount the display to the wall, the holes that are being referenced then that will be mounted for the display are centered to the Pro Bravia.
Perfect. Thank you for that answer there, Joe. Got a couple more left. Let's see. Got another one here from Peter. Is there Sony control software available for the EZ20L?
There's no control software per se. What we do is offer the commands and how to get started with Simple IP and RS-232 on our Bravia Knowledge Center. And like I mentioned before, if you want to use a third party like QSys, Crestron, and Extron, you can use the existing drivers since they are using Simple IP control or RS-232, and all of them are the same. So, say for example, if you use the driver for like a BZ30L series, it's going to be the same on the 35L, the 40L, and also the EZ20L. We don't change them across the model lineup.
Right. Thank you. And then from there, we have Warren came in with a question. He's looking to see if we can verify TAA compliance of the EZ20L series.
Yeah, absolutely. I can verify that the EZ20, BZ30, BZ35, BZ40, and BZ50 are all TAA compliant, except for the 32 BZ30J. That's the one model that's an exception. Outside of that, every Pro Bravia is TAA compliant.
Thank you for that, Joe. And do we have a list that we could send to dealers that they could check out at all?
I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, no. So I know we are making updates to our website, so possibly somewhere to be able to reference to look up the different TAA compliant products that we do have. All right. And the last question that we have here from Greg, can you, this is actually a duplicate question from before. Can we send out a copy of the presentation to our dealers? So once again, that presentation will be uploaded to our YouTube AV Solutions podcast series. And hopefully Chris uploaded a link, and you can go there and you can find all of our different Tech Tuesday webinars there. Yeah. And so with that being our last question there, I just want to thank everybody for their time today. And I just want to remind you to tune in for our next Tech Tuesday, which will be on April 30th, where we'll be going about the learnings from NAB 2024 with a focus on virtual production. And also, I will remind everybody that we encourage everyone to visit Sony at this year's InfoComm show. We'll be at booth 2201, and feel free to use Sony's passcode SON444 to sign up for the show. So thank you guys for coming, and see you on the next Tech Tuesday.